Good evening and welcome to SSI News on Location. I am Jonathan Thompson.
And I am Ashley Shanks.
Stay tuned for some exciting news and updates on the Senate and the judicial tracks.
We have an inside scoop on the press conferences and committee meetings. Also, we will give you the results for the Feats of Strength.
Also, we have a special segment that is breaking all kinds of records.
Yesterday, the SSI Media Track took an exclusive tour to the WKAR broadcast station and the Mayor's newscast station.
The Media Track learned a lot from that and had tons of fun. Now, we are going to Senate, and Caleb has the story.
Hi, I'm Caleb Michkowski here on location, and we're going to go interview some senators right now, just ask a couple questions, basically why they came back, and see what they have to say. So, what is it that made you guys come back?
Last year was really fun. Got to hang out with people and meet a lot of new people, so just wanted to come back and try it again.
Just like the life-changing experiences, and another thing for me was all the people here. Met a lot of good people and had a good time.
It was lots of fun last year, and it was a challenge. I enjoy challenges.
It was an interesting learning experience, and I wanted to come back for more.
I've actually never been to an SSI camp. I just did the on-site a couple years ago, so I thought it would be fun to try the all-week camp.
I liked the fact that basically everybody here is super friendly.
I like it that a bunch of smart people get together and argue over things, and we're actually allowed to do that.
I enjoy the atmosphere and the lessons that are taught here about just our role as Christians in the government.
So, what is it that you guys find is most different about Senate?
You have a little bit more freedom, and there's more things that you can do, more ways that you can apply yourself to change your bill.
The amendments and the amount of time we have to spend on it.
I mean, we get to interview the House members and beat up their cases, which is kind of fun.
This year, unlike last year, we've all been through something, so we actually have a general idea of what we're doing.
And there's so much more stuff to think about and so much more to do, especially with the amendments going in there. It's a lot more work and a lot more stress.
The smaller caucuses have really been fun for me, and everyone has to really hone in and get work done, and everyone has more to do.
We get to take a journalism class, and we learned a lot about the ethics of balancing a story, so that was really interesting.
Because we can actually change the bills.
What are you planning on doing next year?
I'm going to try mock trial. Sounds cool.
I would like to come back and maybe do media.
I would probably go into mock trials or something else with debating in it.
Mock trial or media.
I want to be on a newspaper.
I think business would be really fun.
Mock trial. So this is my last time at SSI where I actually get free time.
If I came back, I would end up doing media.
Thank you, Caleb. Yes, the senators are working very hard, but they are doing an amazing job. I don't want that.
I don't either.
I don't want that.
This is boring. We can skip that story, it doesn't matter. In other news, Feats of Strength was a great success. We would like to give a big thank you to the game commissioner, Amy Chauvin, and all that helped, and great job to all of you. We will have Jared Prichette with our Feats of Strength exclusive and our weather.
Let's start with the water station. Here we have an interesting conversation, but I think we can all agree that the most important part about this clip is Fred's hat. Okay, so here we have a standoff between two people. Waits for a mistake and he's off. He looks for his teammate and tags her, and they make a clean getaway. Here we have an excellent showcase of athleticism, and she's just not enough, and she gets tagged and mowed down by her own teammate. Looks like the obstacle course. They are neck and neck. One of them gets a bit too eager and slips and falls. Here we have a quick one. Oh, what a shot! Gets it right on the corner edge. There's nothing the other team can do about this one. Here we have another team building challenge. The competitors must cross the room while only standing on a single sheet of paper. It looks like we have a new competitor who is gliding across the room. He has found a loophole in the rules and has cut a sheet of paper in two. Looks like we're back at Gold Rush. One of the teams gets chased down. Oh, what an excellent maneuver. He rolls on the ground. Oh, but he gets tagged at the last minute. What's this? One of our own ADCs has decided to single-handedly take on an entire team in Nukem. And we're back to Gold Rush. It looks like the competitor is trying to get past the defensive line. He makes a run for it. Oh, he gets around, but he's just not quite there, and the defense gets him. It looks like we're back to the obstacle course. The competitor must jump rope 10 times in a row. Unfortunately, he gets greedy and ends up paying for it. It just was not worth it. He doesn't know what to do. After a long day of competing, only one team can win. Captained by Lydia Ryan, Bhutan, with 194 points. Weather this week at SSI has been interesting, with a downpour on Monday, followed by a tornado watch Monday night. It's been a little soggy, but everybody's made it through. The rest of the week looks like it'll be nice and clear, but keep an eye out for erupting volcanoes on Friday.
Yeah, Jer, we'll keep a lookout for that.
The judicial track, they've been very hard to get a hold of. They've been working super hard on their case, but we did get some interviews with them, and we have that story right here.
Okay, that was better. Pre-trial is basically where the teams get together, the opposing teams get together for the first time and meet with their judge, and basically to clean up a lot of the time that you're going to spend in the trial and agree on what you're going to agree on already in the trial to save the time of the trial.
There's a lot of agreements, a lot of disagreements, and it's full-out war.
Well, both sides had one expert witness that was ratified by the judge, which is good.
Our judge was very easy to get along with. He seemed to be very fair in his judgments, and we feel confident about the future.
Do they have any chance whatsoever?
No.
We would like to think no.
We will dominate them.
Do you think you have a good chance against the opposing team?
Yes, I think we do. I think we have several strong arguments.
Well, because they said that they're going to dominate us just shows how little they know.
Our next story takes us down to the Capitol with Wilson Holmes.
I'm Wilson Holmes with SSI News on Location. Today we are at the Capitol for the committee meetings and the press conferences. I went around interviewing, seeing what the people had to say.
However, these procedures result in destruction of the embryo.
On top of that, the parents are the legal guardians because this individual is still a minor.
I believe that they're going to have trouble coming up with why this bill would not be helping minors, because there's just so much here that is going to benefit them, from helping them think it through to encouraging them to go back to their parents. I think they're just in general going to have trouble punching holes in almost all the major areas of this bill.
The styrofoam inside the helmet, they said that it could bounce off the road and cause neck injury, but also if you didn't have a helmet on, you would surely die if your head crashed against the cement. That's one thing that they just can't avoid.
The committee meetings today were successful, and all the House and Senate bills are passing on and to be voted on very shortly. We are awaiting the results.
Great job to the SSI legislators on their press conferences and committee meetings today. We're all looking forward to Friday.
And now for that special segment you've all been waiting for.
Call the shot, Mr. Brand. One last.
After a very successful theater on demand pre-release, the Beyond the Mask film got to theaters in June 5th. Here's a quote from Alex Kendrick, quote, "This movie has more green screen shots and CG effects than any other live-action Christian film in history. The real adventure has been their creative climb of the digital Everest." That was Alex Kendrick.
Beyond the Mask is a great Christian action-adventure film, good for the whole family. It takes place kind of like a combination of Assassin's Creed set in the Revolutionary War period.
Many people have described it as a cross between National Treasure and Zorro. So that kind of gives you a taste of where the direction's headed with that.
The basic genre is action-adventure. It's also got a little bit of science fiction, historical fiction thrown in there.
Well, it's definitely a family film. In terms of Christian films, I'd say it has taken some major steps, leaps and bounds ahead of your traditional Christian film, in that they have a lot of pretty well done visual effects. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of excitement. It's a really fun movie to watch, and so I definitely recommend it for the family audience.
It's the fastest growing theater on demand, and it beat the previous theater on demand by twice the world record.
Most Christian filmmakers won't go into the dangerous genre of action adventure or historical, and Beyond the Mask really breaks a lot of the boundaries.
The story behind making this movie is like no other Hollywood movie, with the amazing crew and cast.
Beyond the Mask movie is a Christian action adventure film, one of the first of its kind.
I was the art department coordinator for about the last half of the shoot or so, and so basically what they brought me in to take a look at the script and the props and the locations that were going to be needed, and to try to kind of organize.
We kind of handle like the PR side. They have these things called theater captains, and essentially what it is you get a bunch of people together, and if you get 50 people or more to come with you, any theater you want is not going to turn down 50 people, and so they will show it for one night. That's what we did.
My sisters and I were part-time on the catering department, art department, and wherever else we happened to be needed.
I signed up to be an extra and help out wherever they wanted.
I was part of a colonial string quartet that played for the Masquerade Ball. I was part of the string quartet at the Masquerade Ball scene, and it was a really fun experience.
What's really cool is they got Paul McCusker, they have Stephen Kendrick from Fireproof and stuff. They're actually the ones who wrote it. It's a lot better than a lot of other Christian movies. It's completely different.
Well, the biggest name that everyone's probably going to recognize is John Rhys-Davies from Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones. Some of the other names, I know some people are probably familiar with the producer, Aaron Burns, the director, Chad Burns. The Burns family made Pendragon, Sword of His Father's their previous film.
I was an extra for 2 different scenes. One with the famous John Rhys-Davies, which was incredibly awesome, and it was a privilege to meet the guy. He's the real deal.
I'd recommend going to the movie's website, which is beyondthemaskmovie.com, and check it out. I know it is still in theaters across the country.
And if you type in your zip code, it will actually bring up the top locations that are closest to you.
It would definitely be a must-watch, I would say, just because of the nature of it and it presents the gospel.
Really fun movie. It was a great experience working on it, and I'd highly recommend if you haven't seen it, you get out and see it.
I've seen it 3 times. It's a must-see.
It's action and adventure. When was the last time we had a good action adventure film that was clean? It's been a long time.
Go see it. It's awesome.
What did you think of the Beyond the Mask movie?
I thought it was great that they got it into the theaters because it was a Christian movie with a great message that was very interesting too. It seemed like a Hollywood movie, but it was Christian.
The movie is kind of divided into 2 halves, and one of them is the action, the plot part, and the other half is the Christian part. So they do combine it well, and no, they don't contradict.
It's a good movie. It is a lot different than a lot of the Christian movies out there because it's well done. It doesn't have that cheesy, overdriven, message that a lot of them put in there. It was a huge step up from the previous film. Definite good watch. Action-packed, clean for the family. One I would recommend.
I enjoy history, and I enjoyed seeing all the different historical characters behind it.
An excellent story of redemption.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
This was a very successful and enjoyable film. I hope you all get the chance to see it. I'm Jonathan Thompson. Thanks for tuning in.
And I am Ashley Shanks. This is your SSI News on Location.
Good night.